What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we're going to be going over my PAX East 2016 experience. Now, if you guys don't know what PAX is, it's a big gaming convention that I was at last weekend actually in Boston, and it was so much fun. Lots of new games to try out, met lots of really cool people. Unfortunately, I didn't vlog at all, but I did do a lot of recording, and I'm really going to be focusing this video on more of like a review style. So I want to be talking about the games that I played, which ones I'm really excited for, and just my initial impressions and review on the games that I'm interested in, as well as VR stuff. So I played a lot of virtual reality. That was one of my main focuses while I was at PAX. And I want to compare the different headsets because I'm actually interested in buying one of these VR headsets in the coming year. And I thought I'd share my experience with you guys on the 3 headsets that are like the big contenders this year. So first up, for games, I really wanted to focus my attention on first-person shooters because that's really where my attention lies, and that's what might actually affect the channel a little bit in the future, at least my Twitch channel. I'm planning on streaming some new games a little bit more often rather than Call of Duty. Don't worry though, my YouTube channel is still going to be a Call of Duty focused channel, but I might want to mix a few things in every now and then, a few other games. So the first one that I played was Lawbreakers. Now this one is a PC only, at least at this point, it's a PC only shooter. That is still in development. There's still no release date planned for it. And the general premise is this is a futuristic sci-fi shooter where apparently humans like blew up the moon or something and it created all these like gravity imbalances and stuff, which actually plays out really cool with the gameplay mechanics. And we have 2 different teams or 2 different sides. There's the law, so like the police basically, and then there's the breakers who are like the criminals. So that's the premise behind the whole story anyways. And each side has different characters, and these characters have completely different abilities, and they play completely different. Like, for instance, there's one type of character that has like a big grappling hook type thing and can really move around the map quickly, and she's got like swords and stuff too. She was actually very powerful when I was playing. I got destroyed by it a lot. I didn't actually play as that character at all, but I should have because I was getting knifed like crazy in that game. And then there's various other characters. There's like more tank style characters. And all of them have different abilities and they play completely different. And the big thing that I really liked about this is something that I mentioned a little bit is gravity is all screwed up in this world. So different parts of the map have different gravity. So the map that we were playing, I think it was the only one map that we had access to. It was the only one they really showed off. In the middle, there was very low gravity, but everywhere around the edges of the map was like normal gravity. So everything would be normal, just like a regular first-person shooter. You're running around the edges of the map. And then when you get to the middle of the map, you've got people like floating all over the place, having these gun battles. And it was a really neat experience. I really like that aspect of this game. And I think there's a lot of opportunity with that. The gunfights themselves were very good, very clean. The time to kill is a little bit on the higher side if you're comparing it to something like Call of Duty or something. It really reminds me of Unreal Tournament, which is awesome. It's a really arcadey type shooter where you're jumping around all over the place, decently high time to kill. And that really makes sense because the creator of this came from Unreal. He actually worked on Unreal Tournament. So that's why we get that feel with this game, and I really like that. So like I said, this is a PC only shooter, so I was struggling a little bit just because I'm not the most confident with a mouse and keyboard for a shooter type game. And I didn't actually do extremely well while I was playing, which is a little disappointing, but I still had a lot of fun playing it. There have been little hints dropped that this may be ported into console by the time it launches. If it is ported to console, I'll definitely be getting on console, I think. I don't know, maybe I will end up getting on PC. Either way, I'm very excited for this game. It's probably another year or so out. That would be my guess. There is no official release date announced. And if they were releasing it for like this fall, they would probably have announced that by now, but maybe not. I could be completely wrong. Either way, I'm definitely looking forward to this game, and I'm definitely going to be picking it up. So next up, the other big game that I got to play that I was really excited to finally play is Overwatch. I can't believe I didn't try and find my way into the beta for this game because I had a ton of fun playing this. I got to play it a few times while at PAX. There was quite a long lineup though, so unfortunately I didn't play it as much as I wanted, but I love this game and I'm really looking forward to streaming this game and even making a few YouTube videos on this game. So Overwatch, just in case you guys haven't seen, I'm sure lots of you guys have seen plenty of gameplay and stuff with Overwatch. It's a slightly more cartoony arcade-based shooter, and the objectives are very different. It's not just a straight up like team deathmatch, or at least that's not what we were playing. We were never playing team deathmatch or anything like that. There's always some sort of an objective like escorting something or defending certain areas and things like that. Again, we have different characters that have completely different abilities, and with this one there's actually like completely different stats like 100% different stats. So like there's tank characters that have way more health than the other ones, but they're also a much bigger target, so they're much easier to hit, and they move a little bit slower, so therefore it all kind of balances out. And then we have like the smaller, faster ones that are harder to hit, but usually deal a little bit less damage. There's some very cool characters. I really like the character development. It seems like they're really putting a lot of focus on the different like backstories and stuff with the characters. And the art design for them is just really cool. I really like it. It's a little bit quirky. And overall, it was a really fun experience. I actually dominated my very first few games with this. I did very well. I don't know what it was. Maybe the people I was playing against weren't the greatest, but neither was I. It was my first experience. And I was using a guy called Hanzo, and he's got a bow and arrow, so he's got infinite ammo with this, which was really nice. It has a very slow fire rate, obviously, because you have to like draw each arrow, and you have to be very accurate. But I was just kind of like hanging back, picking people off. I think it was like a 2 to 3 or 4 shot kill with the arrows, whereas a lot of the other ones, it's like many shots to kill. But like I said, the rate of fire is quite slow, so you have to be very accurate, and you have to account for travel time and stuff. And that was actually my favorite character to use. I only ended up using 4 different characters throughout my playtime with Overwatch, but he was my favorite out of the ones I tried because he could just kind of like hang back and pick people off. And I was just dominating with him. It was so much fun. I also tried out, I think his name's McCree. He's got like a revolver. That one I was not really so good with. Didn't really like nearly as much. The other ones I don't even remember the names of. But overall, yeah, my favorite character to use was definitely Hanzo, and I'm really looking forward to playing a whole lot more with all of the different characters once the game actually launches, which is very soon, by the way. So I'm definitely going to be streaming this game on my Twitch channel a fair amount when it launches, and I may or may not make a few YouTube videos on my YouTube channel as well for Overwatch, just because I really see myself spending a fair amount of time once this game launches, which is actually May 24th when it launches. And I don't know which console I'm getting it on yet, but I'm definitely getting it on console, not PC. And I'm really excited for this one, and I highly recommend you guys pick it up when it launches. So those were the 2 big games that I was most interested in while at PAX, because obviously I'm a first-person shooter type guy, and these are the big first-person shooters that are going to be coming out soon. And they were the big first-person shooters that were shown off at PAX. So those were the ones I really wanted to focus on the most. I will say I did play Battleborn again, and Battleborn is more of like a MOBA first-person shooter, so it's not really my style. I did a little bit better this time than I did the last time I played it, which was actually at PAX Prime in Seattle last year. But still, it's just not really my style of game. I'm not really into the whole MOBA thing, so I don't think I'll be getting Battleborn, and I didn't really want to talk too much about it here. So finally, I want to be talking about VRs, because this is another thing that I was very interested in as I was going to PAX. I wanted to try out all of the different VR headsets, some of them for the second or third time, and I really want to make a decision on which one I'm going to be getting, or maybe even 2 I'm going to be getting when they finally launch to the public. So the first one I want to talk about is the PlayStation VR, because this one is a little different than the other 2, which are the HTC Vive and the Oculus. And the reason it's different is it's proprietary to Sony. So it's basically you plug it into your PS4 and it works. I mean, I think there's like a preamp type thing in between. But aside from that, like it's pretty much just plug and play. You don't have to know a ton about computers and everything in order to get it set up. You just plug it in and you're ready to go. But a downside that I see in the future is you're going to be limited to like Sony games. It's going to be only a small library of games, possibly. At least at first, it's probably going to be a pretty small library of games. Whereas with the other ones, you can get tons of games on PC and they'll be compatible with a lot of different games. But anyways, with the Sony VR, it was actually the most comfortable headset out of all of them. I found the headset design itself, it looks the coolest and it's the most comfortable. It just pops onto your head. It's easily adjustable so you can move it closer to your eyes or further away from your eyes. So even people with glasses, it will be no problem for them. That was one complaint that I heard from a few people that I talked about VR with. They wore glasses and they just had a hard time with the HTC Vive as well as the Oculus. I mean, a little bit of a hard time. It's still doable. It's just not as comfortable for them. With the PlayStation VR, it's very much adjustable. I think it looks kind of cool as well, whereas the other ones, they don't really have a cool look to them, which really, who cares what you look like while you're playing video games? You're probably alone anyways while you're doing that. But either way, the design is much cooler. The resolution and the graphics were actually pretty impressive. At the same time, like it didn't blow me away, but I was expecting less out of it, to be honest. So It was slightly better than expected, but at the same time, it wasn't like, oh my god, this is the most realistic thing I've ever seen. The games that I played, the first one, I can't remember the name of it, but basically it was soccer balls coming at you and you had to hit them with your head. So you had to actually move your head into the ball to like headbutt the ball into a target. And that one was okay. I mean, I don't see myself sitting at home playing that. The other one though is definitely really fun. And I didn't want to stop playing. I just wanted to keep playing because it was so much fun. And that was London Heist. Now this one, for the demo, we were like, you're in a car and you've got a driver, he's driving, and you have like an Uzi. And you have all these people on motorcycles and in SUVs that are trying to shoot you and kill you and stuff. And you have to shoot back. And you have the PlayStation Move sticks in your hand. I think those are from like the PS3. But anyways, you have those in your hand and you actually control everything. So you can reach around the car, you can pick up anything. You can pick up like a can and throw it at the driver if you wanted to. You have all these magazines to reload your gun, which you have to manually do. So you've got the gun in one hand and you've got the trigger and everything. But when you run out of ammo, you have to grab a magazine. You have to find it either like in the glove box or you've got a duffel bag where you have to reach and find a magazine, pick a magazine up, and then you have to actually like load it into the gun. And then you start shooting and you point the PlayStation Move stick. It's really intuitive. Obviously, it's pretty simple. You have a gun, you pick up magazines, load it, and you shoot. And it was very accurate. I was pretty impressed with the tracking itself. It seemed like very natural. You just sort of point and your aim is right on. Like you're right where you want to be shooting. It was a ton of fun. Definitely enjoyed that game. I want to play the whole game all the way through. I was really disappointed when the demo ended because I was having a lot of fun with it. So definitely I am planning on getting the PlayStation VR once it comes out. It looks like the price point is going to be decent as well. Everything I've read so far looks like it's going to be $399 US, which is really not that bad considering it's a whole new experience that you're adding on to your PlayStation. So definitely looking forward to that one, and I'm pretty sure I'm definitely buying a PlayStation VR. Next up, we have the Oculus and the HTC Vive. Now, I didn't get too much playtime on the Oculus this PAX. I did get a decent amount of playtime on the Oculus in PAX Prime in Seattle, though, so that's more so where my experience lies. There was no difference that I could tell between this experience and the previous experience, so I didn't really see any big upgrades or anything, at least not that I notice. And the HTC Vive I got to try on for the very first time. I was very impressed with the quality of the HTC Vive, but a big problem with it is it's got a bunch of cords that come out of the top of it, and you're like always tethered. But one nice thing about it as well is you're actually standing up and you can move around a little bit. You can actually take a few steps to the side and it will track all of your movements. Whereas with the Oculus, as far as I'm aware, you have to be stationary. You have to be seated, basically. I don't know about seated, but you have to be stationary. You can't be moving around your environment at all, which I don't know. I don't know if that's really a big deal. I'll have to get more playtime on it to really make a decision on that. The Oculus I found was a little bit more comfortable than the Vive. The Vive was slightly heavier, it felt like. And the straps just weren't quite as comfortable. Like I said, it had some like cords coming out of it, so you could definitely feel those on your head. And there was a lot going on with the Vive, but the overall quality of the image and everything seemed to be pretty superior with the Vive. So that's one thing the Vive has going for it. And this is where I'm just really unsure. I still haven't made my mind up on which one of these two I want. Both of them are going to have access to a lot of the same games, if not like all of the same games. I'm sure there's going to be a few exclusives with each of them, but it's PC, so you can play pretty much anything with it, or at least we will eventually be able to play pretty much any game with it. And I really don't know which one I want. I know the Vive is going to be more expensive than the Oculus, but at the same time, it's got a lot of cords. It seems like you have to have a proper room set up for it because you have sensors in different corners of the room to allow you to actually move around a little bit. So, like I said, I still haven't made my mind up on Oculus versus Vive, but I'm definitely interested in buying a PlayStation VR, and I will likely be doing that at the end of this year, because I believe they're going to be launching in October, if I remember correctly. So, aside from that, how was my PAX? My PAX was amazing. I met a lot of great people. I went to the Twitch party as a partner for the first time, which was awesome. Met a lot of really cool people there. I did some karaoke. Had a lot of fun, had some good parties and stuff like that. I'm sorry I didn't vlog. I should have, but whatever. That hindsight's always 2020. Looking back, it would have been easy to just do like little segments of a vlog here and there, and I just didn't do it. So next time, I promise I will vlog for you guys, because I know a lot of you guys were looking forward to that, and I kind of promised that I would, but I guess I broke that promise. So, yeah, sorry about that. So anyways, that was my PAX East experience this year. I had a ton of fun with it. I'm definitely planning on going to PAX Prime, or I guess they're calling it PAX West now, in Seattle later this year. So if you guys want to go to this convention, I highly recommend it, and I'd love to meet you guys there in Seattle. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys next time.